What's up, y'all? It's Uncle Freedom coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved day off. And today we're going to talk about something that often gets talked about and more often than not overcomplicated by us as we try to do it. And that is Grayman and Grayman Theory. So if that sounds fun and like it would be interesting to you, go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend, because we are growing. And I'll bring it up because it's shown up on my stuff that like 85% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe to this channel because it helps me, and do it because you're a good person, a nice guy. I'd appreciate it if you'd be a nice guy. We'll see how that goes. Cheers, y'all. I'm also running on absolutely zero sleep, so there's that. So Grayman. What is Grayman Theory? Grayman Theory simply means that in a given environment outside in public, you draw no more and, more importantly, no less attention to yourself than everybody else around you. We try too hard at this a lot of times and therefore draw more attention or even less attention than people in the public around us. You stick out when that happens. It's like having an all-black square inside of the woods. I can see that square from a long way away because nothing is pure black and right-angled in nature. So in your effort to make it invisible, you have now made it very visible to people paying attention because it's out of place. Whether that's being too subdued or over the top. So here's the deal. If you live in a place where everybody looks like Mimi from the Drew Carey show, probably move. Just a thought. Probably not where I would live. Also, you're not going to blend in with that unless you look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show. Fortunately, we live in America and every place does not look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show. Where I live, let's look at where I live for an example. I live in rural Nebraska. So in rural Nebraska, I am just as likely to see a guy walking to the gas station to get something to drink in multicam pants, Merrill or Solomon hiking shoes, a multicam hat, and a t-shirt of some kind, as I am to see somebody walking to the store in Wrangler jeans, blue jeans of any kind, some kind of hiking pants, cargo pants, shorts, doesn't matter, right? Normal dress and attire. Now, here's the thing. If you live in a place where everybody around you is wearing skinny jeans all of the time, I would move. Because I can't fit into skinny jeans. Don't skip leg day, bro. It's just a thing, right? I got bad knees. I got bad knees, too. There's ways around that shit. So, it's very dependent on where you live. Now, even if I go to one of the more, overpopulated parts that are the hotbed for the liberal dysphoria terrible shit that goes on in my state sometimes, and that is like Lincoln and Omaha. They're beautiful cities, big cities though, hundreds of thousands of people crammed into these cities in a place that's not meant to have hundreds of thousands of people. But even there, I can wear 5'11" pants and I blend in just fine. I can wear Wrangler jeans and I blend in just fine. Maybe I don't wear multicam pants when I'm at these two places because that's not as common there. But it is common to see guys wearing camo in any part of the year at which hunting is taking place. You're not going to stick out. Just do a little work and a little research to make sure that you're just somewhat dressed in line with what everybody dresses when you're there. Which brings me to my next point about Grayman Theory. There are exactly two things in the world that pay attention to body language, threat indicators, and pay over normal amounts of attention to individual people. And those things are predators and protectors. Why? Well, predators are looking much like they do in nature. They're looking for the weakest thing, the most injured animal as a part of the herd so that they can take that out, expending as little energy as possible to achieve their end result, which is stealing a wallet, jacking a debit card, taking your cash, ending your life, whatever weird fancy the predator has that day. And the other people that pay attention to it are the protectors. Much like the Great Pyrenees that's running herd over some cattle in a field. His job is literally to watch for the thing that looks like it's checking out other people and could be a threat. It's the same thing in public. If you walk into a store as a protector, odds are you're paying attention to your surroundings. If you're not, pay attention for those in the back. The currency that buys you more time in a bad situation for reaction and to get yourself out of that situation is situational awareness. If you are not paying attention to what's going on around you, you will die because other people are looking for the guy that's not paying attention. Predators, protectors, those are the ones that actually pay attention to what's going around. The other 90-something% of the population, we're lucky they don't get run over by a bus because they're all walking around like this. We are lucky the day that your ability to look at Facebook on your fucking phone became a thing, that we didn't lose 10 to 15% of the population on the first day from dudes walking into buses. Like, people don't pay attention to anything. So what they do pay attention to is something abnormally extreme or something abnormally subdued. Because the really subdued thing scares them and they think you're weird. The very extreme side of it, the hey, look at me guy, they're paying attention to you and you're memorable because you just look out of place. So again, dress for your environment. What's normal there? Like, I don't go to California. Why don't I go to California? Because you know that little sticker that says known to the state of California to cause cancer? That's me. I cause cancer in the state of California. I get it if you live there and you can't move. I get it. It is beautiful. I will say that. Parts of California are absolutely gorgeous. But I'm from the southeast, and our women are way better looking, one. Two, your beach is not special to me because I grew up on the Gulf Coast. We had the best seafood in the world. So, just a fact, right? But I don't fit in California. I know I don't. My culture, where I come from, how I behave, my mannerisms, they don't track there. So I don't go there. I foresee no reason to ever have to go there again now that I don't travel to places like California. But anywhere around me, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Missouri, Iowa, pretty much any of these places, if I walked outside in a pair of khaki or coyote tan 511 pants and this t-shirt, nobody's going to pay attention to me. They're not. The people that pay attention are either protectors or predators. Like, again, predators are looking for an easy mark. Something that they don't have to do as much work that they can get what they want from. Protectors, on the other hand, are already conditioned to be looking at hands, people's intentions, their body language, threat indicators. Are they dressed weird for a certain environment that would allow them to conceal something that they shouldn't have on them? Columbine, trench coats, that kind of thing. That's what protectors are paying attention to. And most of the time, when I hear statements of, oh, look at this gray man, right? Like, you're outing a dude for dressing a certain way in public, and odds are you're the only one that noticed it. Why? Because you're also a protector, so you know what you're looking for. You're not going to fool people that know what you're looking for. But there are some simple things that we can do to ensure that we actually get away from that. If you're going to wear clothes, which I highly recommend you do, because running around naked, nobody wants to see that shit. I mean, there are some, but most people don't want to see that shit. Most people don't want to be seen. Dress around what you've got on. Things like flannel shirts, plaid shirts, even if it's not a flannel shirt, but a plaid shirt. Plaid has a pattern on it, which breaks up anything that you would see under the shirt. Something like this shirt, you could see this without a problem because of the material and the color. There's a women that like gray sweatpants. There's a reason that women like gray sweatpants season at the gym. You can see things, right? It's a reason guys like yoga pants. You can see things, which means if you are trying to conceal carry under something like this, unless you have a very good holster, very good belt, and know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to see it. Something as simple as a plaid shirt will break up the outline of whatever you're carrying, enabling it to pretty much be invisible. The next thought of that is, people can't see it until you started fucking with it. I know, when you first start concealed carrying, you've got your gun in your pants, and in your mind, that fucking gun is the size of this water bottle. And you just know that everybody else can see it. So you're constantly adjusting and fucking with it. The reality is, people think you're fucking with your dick, so stop it. The other side of it is, the people that catch it for what it is that you're adjusting your gun probably caught that because they're also carrying a gun and they did the same thing years back. I've also heard the thing, if you open carry or this or this or this, then you're going to be the first one shot when somebody robs a place. Probably not. Most of the time when somebody would come in a criminal, if you watch videos and stuff like that, they are not entirely aware of the people around them because they are so focused on their action that they're going to complete, which is holding up a store, stealing the money, robbing somebody at gunpoint, taking an ATM card, whatever the case is. They're paying attention to that because that's their goal. They're goal driven. They're like, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to try to get away. But that doesn't mean make yourself a target. If you've got like a drop leg holster on, you stick out. Not because you had a gun, but because everything you did is out of place in a normal environment. Depending on where you live, seeing somebody with an open carried firearm could be totally normal. Where I live, it's very normal to see. And now that we have constitutional carry, you just pretty much assume everybody's got a gun. You're not going to become an instant target because you do it. Is it worth taking the risk that you will become the target because you did get the one bad guy who's paying attention to his environment? I don't know. You have to make that decision. I concealed carry for a reason. I concealed carry because I believe guns are meant to be used and not seen. I don't want you to know I'm armed until the minute I've decided you need to know I'm armed. So keep that in mind. Also, if you see a guy checking you out in public and you just know that he saw you fucking with your shit and he knows you're armed, odds are that guy's another protector and he's just watching you to see if you're a threat or not. The second you go back to normal shit, I know I do. I'm like, all right, whatever, good guy. I mean, I don't stop paying attention to my surroundings because, again, if I stop paying attention to my surroundings, I just lost the currency that allows me to buy time in an environment that's shit where I'm reactionary to something going on. So, situational awareness, guys. Grayman is important, though. You have to understand why it's important. Grayman was never meant for you to wear gray everything and walk around in public. Grayman is just simply meant that you fit into your environment. That you don't look like, I mean, if you're walking around with an AR slung across your chest, no, you're not Grayman, okay? You look like a fucking idiot right now. Don't do that. You just created all of the attention directly on you. But if you're carrying a handgun and you've just got this in your pants and you are dressed for the gun, meaning I didn't put on the tightest shirt I had and I am paying attention to what's going on in my environment, nobody's paying attention to me. You are as Grayman as you can be, but you're still prepared to act if you have to. Protectors, predators. Figure out which camp you fall in. If you fall into predators, you can go seek life elsewhere. So, the other one that I hate hearing all the time, and I see this a lot when people like Everly Stock puts out a video on one of their bags. That bag looks just like if I saw someone with that, I would know that was for carrying a gun. Yes, you would, because you're a gun person. Not everybody in the world is a gun person. Odds are if somebody approaches you because they really like your backpack, like, yeah, here you can fit an SBR in that, you might have just made a new friend. You are now in the awkward mating dance of meeting other gun guys. Good for you. But Sally down the street has no idea that that's what that bag is meant for. Unless you're running around with something that looks like you're on your way to a gig with a 42-inch digital piano on your back, I wouldn't do that. Or I wouldn't carry something rifle-shaped. But there are options out there. I walked 50 miles with this bag recently. Some of it was rural and some of it was through the middle of town. This bag is an Everly Stock Big Trick. This bag is purpose-built and designed to pop down and to hold an SBR in it. This is a rifle bag. It also has dedicated concealed carry pockets in the back. It's got Molly, and it's a subdued color. Nobody gave this bag a second thought. I have walked around the Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha, Nebraska, with a bag more tactical than this, and nobody paid attention to it. You know why? Because things like Molly, military cut backpacks, camo have become more popular in everyday society, which means you're liable to see that. I distinctly remember the last time I was in Santa Monica. I saw a guy on the Santa Monica Pier with his backpack on, and his backpack was a 2-day Mystery Ranch assault pack in freaking camo. That's got Molly and everything on it. And this dude, you knew he didn't have a gun. 100%, like, you know the guys I'm talking about. It's like, okay, how's that extra soy latte going for you? I mean, cool, I guess. Like, but you knew he didn't have a gun. But he was running the bag. I complimented his bag. I was like, hey, it's a really cool bag. He's like, oh, yeah, it looks awesome. You have to understand that in our culture that we have now, you have all these video games that are exposing people to the brands that gun people have known about forever. You have TV shows like The Terminal List or the Jack Ryan series. Or Navy SEALs. Great show, by the way. Good advisors on that show. But you see these shows, and they're carrying these backpacks that we all knew about because they were carryology, military, law enforcement, concerned citizen based. And people are carrying these bags because they saw it somewhere and they thought it was cool. So it's a lot more gray man now than you think. I have never been stopped wearing one of my backpacks that was more tactically minded. I've even gone as far one time as to wear an Eagle Industries 3-day enhanced assault pack in multicam. I got a lot of compliments about that bag because people thought it looked cool. It never occurred to anybody that that was a military-based backpack, that it would typically be associated with somebody carrying a gun. Never crossed any of their minds. They just thought the bag looked cool. So, you might find a new gun friend or bring somebody into the fold. You never know. So that's why this stuff's important. You just need to fit into your environment. Don't give it too much thought. If you go out every day dressed as you're dressed and nobody pays any fucking attention to you, good news, you're gray man. But if all of a sudden you start rocking multicam like cry pants every day and a combat shirt, you stick out. If I wore a combat shirt in public here, I would stick out. Even when we go teach, I wear combat shirts and tack pants while I teach because I wear a plate carrier all day long. The second we leave to go into town, I will take off the combat shirt, put on a t-shirt or a collared shirt, still have the same tack pants on. I'm concealed carrying now and nobody sees it at all. Nobody pays attention to it because it's normal. Tactical pants, all this stuff is way more normal than you think. Like I said, if you live in an environment where that is a complete foreign concept, dress accordingly for your environment. But for most of the places, at least most of the places I've ever been, nobody would even pay attention to you because you look like a hiker or an outdoorsman or a camper or a backpacker. That's all you look like. You look like a guy that's a fan of TV shows and you picked your outfits based off your favorite TV character. It just doesn't scream the same things, which is the reason I say we overcomplicate the dog shit out of Grayman Theory. So the last part of Grayman Theory, though, is you should always be armed. Your Grayman Theory should incorporate your everyday carry, your wallet, your flashlight, your everyday carry firearm, your pocket knife. Those things should be on you. If you have to ditch all of your stuff to be Grayman, now you're helpless. Don't do that. Figure out a better approach. Figure out how to dress around your stuff. In reality, disclaimer here, I am not in any way, shape, or form telling you to disregard or break any federal, state, local laws where you may live or may visit. I didn't tell you to do it, so if you get fucking busted doing something dumb, I did not tell you to do it. Now that we're past that, you should, in theory, be able to walk in and out of any place that you want to go that doesn't have like a metal detector in it with your full everyday carry accompaniment, and nobody should ever be the wiser because that's what concealed carrying is. Something as simple as having a good holster with a claw to bring that grip in closer to your body. A good, stiff, rigid belt that keeps this in place so that it doesn't shift and move on you. Pants that have enough room for it to fit, that don't look like you're smuggling 5 socks that are fighting for space in the front of it. Wearing a shirt that may not show off your new gym gains, but at least gives you the room to carry it comfortably without printing because you sneezed. While most people aren't paying attention to that stuff, it only takes one that doesn't need to see it, seeing it, and then you have a lot of explaining to do. So, be comfortable, be confident, exude that confidence, pay attention to your surroundings, make eye contact with people like, hey dude, I'm aware of you, I saw you, don't do this though, this would be bad. But simple eye contact with another human being that you feel may be looking at you is oftentimes enough to let a predator know, shit, they're paying attention to me now. You're no longer an easy mark because you just acknowledged them. If you see a guy that's intentionally shady, all of his body language is off, you're paying attention to that, create space. Don't confront, create space. He may not be doing anything, he just may be awkward as fuck. Create space, watch the situation, be ready to respond to that situation if you choose to do so. Because again, as protectors, that's what we do. And again, situational awareness is the currency by which we buy time to act in a situation that has gone to shit. So guys, Grayman Theory, not as hard as we thought it was. It's actually pretty simple. Dress like your environment. Dress around your firearm. Be able to comfortably carry all your stuff. I don't put a lot of stock into the backpack game. I would not leave a $600 Everly stock backpack fully loaded with all my shit open and exposed in the trunk of my car or in the back cargo area. That would never happen. If I was going to leave it in there, it would be covered and hidden under stuff. You would never see it. So yeah, in that case, that could draw some unwanted attention. But if you've got your backpack on, unless you've gone way over the fucking top with it, most people aren't paying attention to that shit because to them, it's just a cool backpack that maybe they saw on their favorite TV show and they're excited you've got one too. I can't tell you how many people I've seen rocking the Mystery Ranch Little Trick in sapphire blue because James Reese ran one in the first series, Terminal List. Excellent series. If you haven't watched it, Chris Pratt does a great job in that TV show. And it's also an excellent book. I just finished the 6th book by Jack Carr. So good. So I believe it's Only the Dead. I can't remember the name of it. I listened to it when I was on shift. But anyway, guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, share, and hey, let me know what you guys want to see next. I am thinking about doing a bug out bag video. But stay tuned because if you haven't checked it out, or maybe it was before or after this one, it was Uncomfortable Truths About Preparedness. That's going to piss somebody off. But hey, it is what it is. So guys, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Until next time, I'll see you later.